Hello and welcome, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Mark-Angelo Lyons Mal for short. They're my initials. I'm a professional witch, a professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of 2 different books with a third one on the way. You can find my books over on patreon.com/drawingthecircle. We do have a Kindle version of my second book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. This is the original version, which is much bigger, more colorful. We had to really edit it down for Kindle, and there's a link in the description box down there to the Kindle version if you would like to preview it for free. And you'll see that the book is pretty much in chakra chapters. The first 3 cards down are about chakras. You might find it helpful. The spell ingredients at this recording is the only place to find my first book, spell ingredients, and the third one will be on the way in the digital shop eventually, as well as we got audios, lectures, we've got videos, we got a lot going on the digital shop over there, and some of my subscribers get that content as part of their benefit package. As a matter of fact, God Goddess, our top tier, gets all of it. But the majority of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common. A daily check-in. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link pretty much every single morning. Did it this morning. It was great. I really love it. We chat about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications of said astrological weather. And we always end with a spiritual practice, a little something to send us on our way. Really wise way for me to start the day, considering my work, career, and vocation day in and day out. They also get all the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. All of my extended readings are timeless and relationship stuff based. Let's just call it relationship stuff based. As well as they get a significant discount when they book me for a private session. We'll talk about that more at the end of the video if you want more info. You can follow us for free. You can 7-day free trial. So many options. So I invite you to just click the link, look at the menu, check it out. And if you want, come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark-Angelo Lyons. But you can just call me Mal. Hey, my Taurians, my adorables. I am a Virgo, Sun, 4 planets, 2nd house. And I love my Taurians very, 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 very much. So we'll do some explanation for the new Tauruses and cross-watchers that are new to my reads here on the tube of you, and then we'll jump into the divination. Feel free to jump ahead, although I will say the intention for this series shifted. We're using the same amount of cards, the same decks as we did the last couple of times, though that might change in the future. But we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So, welcome new Tauruses and cross-watchers. Right off the bat, this is really a 3-level of power reading. There's a link in the description box to a video by Caroline Mace giving a 3-part lecture. It's just part 1 that I have up there, up to you if you want to watch the rest, called The 3 Levels of Power, a set of archetypal symbolic lenses through which you can look at really, really big things in life and break them into 3 different components, if you will. In this case, your life purpose, which you gotta admit is great, big, huge. We barely have any idea of what our life purpose is. I mean, philosophy for thousands of years has been trying, hit or miss, location, your mileage may vary. So what we're going to do is look at it as work, how you survive in the world, your career, your passion, your hunger, your thirst, your creative energy, and your vocation, your spiritual calling. Now, why I said this change, the intention has changed, is that all of a sudden this past week, YouTube has been throwing NDE videos at me, near-death experiences. Now, I've been doing this work for a very, very, very long time. I had my first metaphysical job in a crystal store in Porter Square in 1985. Yeah, I'm 55 years old. Yeah, I know when I look at things, but I am Gen X if you can't tell. So the NDE, the near-death experiences, and I'm just listening to these people tell their stories, but there's one in particular from an atheist that just blew me out of the water. I'm like, okay, all right. I know about them. I've never had one, right? But it really a lot of them talked about life purpose and how many of them like really embraced their life purpose afterwards. So maybe there's a little bit of a shift in the intentionality here, but you do you. So let's talk about the cards. We're going to get, like I said, the chakras on the table, but we're doing them in a little bit of different ways than one card for each chakra. We're going to take a Caroline Mace archetype card to show us the archetypal power that you're part of your contract. Her work, Sacred Contracts, very, very life-changing work for me, still is. The alchemy, right? To develop the power to alchemize your shadow to light, your lead to gold, your pain to peace, shifting from toxicity to health and fear to love, with 3 atoms in between lead and gold. I prefer the language of spiritual alchemy, lead to gold. To deal with, release, transform. I prefer the word alchemize, release, surrender, you do you. Like I said, those 3 atoms to shift to a more golden rather than leaded timeline, a more loving rather than fearful timeline, taking the people that you love with you. By the way, during this rather tricky time on planet Earth, so much transition and transformation going on. But again, everybody has free will. So that's what these readings are for, to help us no longer delay what can't be prevented in terms of what we came in to do in this life, because we signed on the dotted line, apparently. So we'll get one of those for that. We'll get the next 4 chakras down with 1 card. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a feminist goddess deck. I've been reading this deck longer than any other, which that I am. For the internal feminine energy, creative energy on the inside, the world behind your eyes that maybe you don't share so much. Free will, 3rd chakra right there. We'll get the lower 3 chakras with the Mythic Tarot, based in Greek mythology, my favorite language ever. I love Greek mythology. I know it's not technically a language, but for me it is. It is Perseus. Take it down a notch. Leave Medusa alone. Well, her fault. So the lower 3 chakras, the masculine energy, the yang dynamic, the hero's journey in the physical world, part of it, and relationships in the physical world, looking at yourself from the outside, looking in, right from the outside, looking in at yourself, you from the inside, looking out at people, places, and things. And there's lots of mirroring in these readings because cross-watchers are involved. So we'll get one of those for the lower 3 chakras. Chakras are on the table from 8th chakra to root. We'll get a whisper of Lord Ganesha from Angela Hartfield. Wonderful oracle. Lord Ganesh, the elephant-headed Hindu god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, and we're looking at those 3 atoms in between lead and gold as obstacles. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful oracle. Definitely a throat chakra thing going on in this read. So willpower, choices, and decisions. We will end the reading with a Matt Kahn healing mantra, because it's about healing, but you know, these are also the money rates, right? The success, right? Like all the different things that we came in to do in this life, but streamlining them. So not everybody makes their money in their work. I don't. I work as a corporate president, but my money making comes from my creativity as a mystical artist, as a spiritual teacher, as a just all of that and a side of fries. So that's our explanation. Let's get into the divination. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will, and I promise I will do anything within my power to help anyone fulfill their life purpose, work, career, and vocation. And I have done so many variations on a theme of this type of reading for clients for decades. I've known about 3 levels of power for a very, very long time. So I hope it helps, and I have a feeling it will. Shall we? The shift from explanation to divination repeatedly happens in what I call the still point. So breathe along if you like. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. It's a lot of explanation, I know. Still point. Pantheonic override. That feels good. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. My beloved goddesses, please one card in clarity indicating the archetype in the 8th chakra for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and their cross-watchers. For this timeless shadow read, what's the alchemy here that needs to be done that's going to shift all the energy of all the other chakras, shifting what they attract and what they repel, so they may they have the free will to no longer delay what cannot be prevented in their life purpose. You got the saboteur empowerer archetype. All archetypes are neutral, so the saboteur sounds horrible. It comes from the French word sabot. It was a wooden shoe during the Industrial Revolution that the revolutionaries used to throw in, right? And literally throwing a shoe at it. So this is one of the 4 survival family archetypes. Everybody has the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. And I know I don't like seeing it in my own personal reads, but when it does, I know that I'm dealing with the trunk of the tree, these 4 survival archetypes that always work in unison, and then the artist, the lover, right, the healer, all of those other ones are branches on the tree. So this is what actually very Taurus read, if you think of it that way, of really strengthening your ability to survive in the physical world. So that one there is for your work. What's going on in their career for this timeless work, career, and vocation read? The Liberator. Okay, the Liberator is a action family archetype. So we're going to read these cards individually. I just want to get these 3 down, and then we'll get into the other chakras. Yeah, so we're doing 3 Daughters of the Moon and 3 Mythic Tarot after that, shall we? My goddesses, what's going on in the 8th chakra for the Taurus and the cross-watchers in their vocation, their spiritual calling, the bully, which is about bullying yourself and or being bullied by spiritual, because we're talking vocation, spiritual calling here. And we will do that right now. So let's start with the saboteur. Written on the card is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. I call this lead, this gold. Again, those 3 atoms being released, transformed of our own free will. May not feel that way a lot of the time. So the lead induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Now, we've all been sabotaged. We've all sabotaged in one way, shape, or form in this life and in others. It's how we learn how to survive. But that thing of desire to undermine others, everyone has the desire, but it's the free will of choice. Are you going to do it? In all sorts of different ways, right? Not necessarily just in the workaday world, although this is that level of power. The light attribute, the gold, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. I mean, that's great, big, huge. The whole world is going through, a real survival test right now, kind of, sort of, in all of these different ways. So, a lot of us are afraid of being empowered, even though we kind of chase the empowerment bug, particularly in the spiritual, metaphysical, new age, magical community, right? To become more and more and more and more powerful. And yet, the changes it would bring to our life, because we have this image in our mind of empowered people who usually stand on a mountaintop, seeing it all, having it all by themselves, right? So there are all sorts of fears that go on in there, and maybe some of the people that would leave our lives if we really stood up and empowered ourselves, even in a minute way, can shift you to another timeline. Just saying. All right, so in your career, the Liberator, the shadow, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, and we see it happen again and again and again throughout history and the modern day, ignoring legitimate constraints. And the best example I can use of that is somebody's in recovery, and you're at a party with them, and somebody comes over, and they're like, "Come on, don't be an asshole, have a drink." Right? In recovery, whatever way, shape, or form, right? Just using alcoholism as one example of the infinite, seems, number of addictions on this planet. And it's like, no, you can respect that person's boundary. You're not liberating them. sit down, right? You're gonna have a seat. The light you're shooting for here, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. That makes sense for second level of power. Second level of power is the heart. These three are the lower three chakras. The ones in the middle here, heart, third eye, crown, and then the 8th chakra is really vocation dominant here. So we are looking at an internal experience here. And the bully. Now, the bully is an action family archetype as well. So you've got 1 empowerment and 2 actions. The shadow attribute, concealing deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. Now, remember, this is in your spirituality. So, what are you scared of? Who's scaring you? Who you scaring? Just saying. Who you scaring, Karen? I hope you you know what I mean. The gold attribute highlights your tendency to intimidate others. We'll talk about that in a second. Helps you confront the inner fears that bully you, which I think spiritually is just there. Even if it's not religio, whatever, it can be that thing of how the ego takes our manifestational practices, our spiritual practice, all that stuff, and always has us working so hard. I call it scrubbing our chakras with Brillo and bleach, right? It's too much. It's not loving. That's definitely not loving. So I better do that. I have to do everything, because if I don't do that, I won't be spiritual. We're spirit. We come into these bodies, we're immortal souls, right? So, spiritual bullying is a thing on the planet, obviously. But when we bully ourselves, we're adding to that collective shadow. Okay, these next 6 cards down, we're going to get them face down first. We're going to get 3 Daughters of the Moon, Heart, third eye, crown, Work, Career, Vocation, and then we'll get the 3 Mythic Tarot, Sacrum Root, Solar Plexus, and then we'll flip them over, Work, then Career, then Vocation. This will take a minute. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, and I learned this new thing. When you're sitting, if your knees are below your hips, your back will automatically straighten or get a little bit more straighter. So I'm trying to practice that. Do you care? Still point. My goddesses override. A place for everything and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My beloved goddesses, please, 3 cards face down, Work, Career, Vocation, Heart, third eye, crown dynamic for the Taurus and the Cross Watchers. What's going on? Heart, third eye, crown in their work with the Saboteur in the 8th. In their career with the Liberator, freeing themselves and others of negative thought patterns, outmoded beliefs, very third eye and throat, one would think. So we got that going on there. And in their vocation, the bully, which is also the coward archetype. What's going on there? Well, and it's lead. What's going on there? Heart, third eye, crown in their vocation. I had to flip and see, and that would be why. Okay. I know I said I was going to turn them all over, but I had to see for myself, because you'll see, this does make sense. Next 3, lower 3 chakras. Please take a nice deep breath. Still. My gods override. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. My gods, please, what's going on? Outside in, I saw that. Outside in, inside out. Lower 3 chakras, Work, Career, Vocation for the Taurus Collective and their Cross Watchers. Let's get them face down, because in the 8th chakra of their work, they've got that Saboteur archetype. What's going on, lower 3 chakras? What's going on, lower 3 chakras for their career with the Liberator in the 8th, and for their vocation, the bully in the 8th Lower 3 chakras, please. Now, I wasn't going to say it, but while I was preparing for this, I always do breath work and prayer and a little meditation before I hit record, right? Shuffling the decks, blessing the space, blah, blah, blah. And this one did feel a little serious, and now I kind of see why. So, let's talk here. The Saboteur in work. So look, Kali, the Awakener. Now, if you're familiar with the goddess Kali, there's a lot written about ancient goddess, right? Hindu goddess. And, it's a lot. There's a lot going on there. She's a little terrifying. And the Fool, major arcana, inner and outer. So this is the card of the Tower in traditional tarot, the card of the Fool, Dionysus. So there is a move of empowerment here that could change absolutely everything. Now, I don't see the Fool card as the first card of the major arcana because its number is 0. 0 has no number between the worlds. But on the inside, you've got the Tower. Now, that can be a bolt of enlightenment, a shot of power, can be spiritual power, and you could be bullied by that if you're afraid of how it's going to change your life. So that's why they said, flip those over, know what you're dealing with. So this is a very, very good thing. So this isn't past, present, future. This is all simultaneous. So in a reading like this, when I have one card assigned to a zone of chakras, major arcana usually means that they're all working in unison. So you're in alignment here. So you trusting yourself, you not sabotaging. So what's the opposite of saboteur is empowerer. You empower yourself, you empower other people, right? And it is, of course, a leap of faith to do that. It always is, right? Every day there's some kind of empowerment challenge. Oh, just one, right? But they're holographic. Boogie, oogie, oogie, right? You jump on one, the rest move forward as you shift timelines. So, your career, as we said, we've got the Liberator here. We got an Earth sign. Now, this is the Capricorn card, a court card. This, the Crone of Pentacles, Pessoa, White Buffalo Woman. 10th house dynamic would be the King of Pentacles. On the inside, Earth, for me, it's not about your internal organs. If you have any planets in Capricorn, have a look-see-dooksy. Capricorn, bottom line, 10th house, creating highest potential, cardinal Earth, creative Earth. There is a depth of wisdom here that has come. Very slow and steady wins the race here. So if you've been, I don't know, working on yourself, however we ought to call that, right? Not just self-improvement, but a growth and evolution, consciously participating, but doing perhaps the harder work. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the father of the zodiac, sets boundaries, sets limits, sets things like that. Then for the Liberator to say, no, these are the things that I have learned, and maybe perhaps I will share. And we got another court card here, the Queen of Wands, the Leo card, fixed fire. So, like I said, a couple of ways we can look at this, outside in, inside out. This could be the person who's watching this reading, regardless of whether they have Leo vibe. Now, I'm Leo rising, right? A lot of people don't know their rising sign or all that stuff, so what you're going to do, ask, right? Or you could if they know. But if they don't, what are you going to do? Like find their birth certificate and run their chart? It's a little shady. I know people who have done it and tempted, but no. I always get people's permission for that. But it can be them letting their lion energy out, right? Really that Leo energy, putting it out there. 5th house, Leo, creativity and good fortune, right? So something very liberating here, but something visible, right? You don't think of a Leo energy as shy. Well, maybe cowardly, the cowardly lion, but other than that, not so much, right? So there is, in terms of bringing your creativity, I would say, second level of power, creative intuition, your career, your passion, your hunger, your thirst, the things that fuels your soul, is in a process of liberating you, as well as most likely liberating with others, bringing that into the world in some sort of fixed fire focused kind of way. Oh, that was a lot of alliteration. Okay. I love what I do. I do. Whether you like what I do or not, I don't care, because I'm a Virgo, for starters. Virgo power, cross your legs. So here's the one. Here's the one. This does make sense. So, like I said, you're the bully in the 8th. Now, really focus on how you intimidate yourself with spiritual concepts and beliefs and practices if you're doing it that kind of way, right? And it could be religio. I just try and steer away from that stuff here on YouTube. It's different with a client where it's one-on-one. And you got the earthquake, the 5 of Pentacles on the inner. Now, earthquakes happen very quickly, right? They don't last very long. Has there been a 3-day-long earthquake before? Well, not in modern recorded history. Ice Age and shit like that. That's different. So again, Earth on the inner really does speak of a shake-up to your wisdom. Like we think, no, this is like we got the Four of Pentacles. No, this is how it is. I'm resting in this. This is where I am. And then something comes in spiritually and changes the game. There's always a higher truth. So a shake-up to your wisdom, but that's not a bad thing. And of course, it would then bring you to the Six of Pentacles balance, right? That equal give and take, and the wisdom to do so. With the Two of Cups on the outer. Now, Two of Cups is traditionally a romantic card. This is how Eros met Psyche, I guess is a good way to say that. I mean, the myth, it is a true love tale if ever there was one. Psyche, the female here in the card, the word Psyche itself means the soul and butterfly in Greek. Eros is sent to kill her because everyone's saying that she's prettier than Aphrodite, his mom. She don't like that, so she says, go kill her. He's like, okay, Mom. Right? Flies off, brings his arrows with him, pricks his finger on one of his golden arrows, falls madly in love with her, but he says, no, don't look at me, because if you look at me, you will fall instantly in love with me, because I am Eros, god of erotic love and romantic love, and I want you to love me for me. So she says, okay. By the way, she's tied up on a rock because she's about to be fed to something as a sacrifice. They're like, no, we don't know. Like, why shoot her? She's bound on a rock anyway. A little Two of Cups, whatever, going on there. So I'm going to say in terms of chakra, since it's an element of water, cups, second chakra is traditionally connected to water, the element of water, the root chakra underneath that being earth, and then, air and fire up, fire in the heart, whatever. But with that Leo energy, that could be a good way to look at it. So this could be somebody coming into your life. Now, does it have to be romantic? I don't know. That's a general read. If you're my client, we would sit here, and I was like, okay, who is it? And it would be the first person that popped into their mind, and then we would throw cards for them, like, not to see what they're doing, but in relationship to, right? Get some deets on the table. So, so the twos are all about choices. So there is a choice here in terms of your vocation, but thou art chucketh, one would think. So, keep in mind, this could certainly be somebody bullying you. This could certainly be somebody bullying you, so it does not have to be that romantic context at all, but it does indicate a one-on-one relationship where there is an attraction, perhaps, but that attraction by contract, right? Meaning, Course in Miracles says that physical proximity in human relationships is in alignment with the most maximal benefit for learning, or something like that. I'm not a good quoter. I paraphrase like crazy. Can't sue me for that, can you? I'll call my lawyers after this. Okay, so we've got a bully, liberator, saboteur contract. I know we lay them down that way, but the way the archetypes fall, you want to take it from the 8th chakra down. So your ability to empower yourself, liberate yourself, outmoded ideas, and help others along the way, creatively here. With this big earthquake shift inside of you because of someone, one would think, or a relationship, a one-on-one relationship in some way, shape, or form. Because if it was Two of Pentacles, I would say it would be more financial. But this does just intuitively feel like your relationship with somebody else. Not a bunch of people either. All right, Whisper of Lord Ganesha, here we go. Still point. Lord Ganesha, override. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Throat chakra, put all where it belongs in time and space, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Lord Ganesh, what is your guidance, your grace, your loving, wise, powerful oracle message to help the Taurus collective and their cross-watchers alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxicity to health, their fear to love, from illusion to truth, helping them remove those 3 obstacles between lead and gold in their life purpose in this bully, liberator, saboteur, work, career, vocation read. Innocence. Oh, we are all innocent. I know it doesn't look that way. The immortal soul, right? And the higher self and all of that. Of course, the miracle is so big on innocence. It goes so far as to say that we are birthless, we are deathless. Guiltless, sinless, birthless, deathless, children of the divine. And I am paraphrasing there. Sorry. Card number 43. Innocence. Let's get there. Now, these last two have booky book reads, but I only read a little bit of it. Ready? Innocence. The simplest gestures of love and respect can prevail over even the toughest hearts. Like the heart of a bully. Now, keep in mind, people treat themselves the way they were treated, right? It just doesn't necessarily... Well, I mean, I guess somebody can come in with a pre-incarnational agreement, a contract, and just be an asshole. We all go there. Holy and asshole. I once gave a lecture called Holy or Assholey. Choose wisely. A long time ago. Card number 43. In this card, the lightness of the aura around Ganesha portrays innocence. By being soft and still, you give the universe the opportunity to assist you in creating your desires. Ready? Be willing to release cynicism. You notice yourself becoming increasingly critical over time, those bullying voices within ourselves, right? As you gather more experience, sometimes the familiarity of a situation can cause you to lose touch with your innocence. It is only natural to expect similar outcomes, as you have had in the past when similar situations present themselves in your life. Don't forget, though, that change and transformation are always possible. Now look, we got Kali here in your workaday world. Heart, third eye crown being struck by lightning. It changes everything. So you got an earthquake on one end. You got Kali zapping you on the inner for on the other end. So, you know, the choice is yours, but this feels like something I don't think that can be delayed for very long. You are being offered an opportunity to approach this situation with renewed peace. If you are making changes to your job situation, relationships, or even the direction of your life path, approach this with a sense of exploration and the excited curiosity of a child. It's like the Fool card, right? That innocence, that leap of faith. Be willing to let go of the preconceived ideas, Liberator, that have developed over time in your mind. Allow your heart to be centered and in a place of peace. That's lovely. That really does. That like brought together the entire read there, but we're not done. It makes sense, though. So your innocence. Yeah, how easy is it to be innocent in this world? Look, I'm from New York. Moved from Holbrook, Long Island to Saratoga Springs in the past couple of months, and it's very, very different up here. So still, I got, I'm still tempted to wear my leather jacket and combat boots just to go to Market 32. I was like, not necessary. These are nice people. Chill, right? So to walk in innocence is tricky, but very, very liberating. I'll say that. Because it is the core of who we are. Anyway, let's get this last card down. Macon Healing Mantra. Please take a nice deep breath. I just went all FM radio voice. Still point. Ascended Master Override. Please fit everything in its place. Put all where it belongs in time and space. For the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. Beloved Ascended Masters, what is the perfect and precise healing mantra to assist the Taurus Collective and their cross-watchers to fulfill their life purpose and their work, career, vocation for this bully, Liberator, saboteur contract, removing the blocks with innocence for this timeless work, career, vocation read. Hearing inner guidance, excellent. My intuition flows whenever I am still. So, of course, where does our deepest intuition come from? Well, it's intuition, right? So that innocence to approach it knowing that you don't know, right? Nothing wrong with not knowing. It's not much of a hero's journey if the hero knows exactly what's going to happen every second, no matter how clairvoyant you are. As far as I know, no one has it like that 24/7, 365. So, hearing inner guidance. My intuition flows whenever I am still. When you hear inner guidance, you receive an affirming and defining moment of inspiration, which can be the lightning bolt of the tower, I'm just saying. It can be a new direction, a new way of seeing old patterns, or an enchanted idea that it is delivered in your own voice out of the silence. It's a little different when you hear it in someone else's voice. I'll contest to that. I'll confess to that. When inner guidance is heard, you are ready to either hunker down into the healing benefits of your current circumstance or move forward into a brand new chapter. In either case, it's an opportunity to further align your soul, or with your soul, by embracing your needs. Embracing your needs. It's not being selfish if it's in the context of fulfilling your life purpose to the best of your ability. That's called higher selfish in my lexicon. Cope. This mantra is ideal for resolving restlessness, becoming a better listener, and being more open-minded. There with the Liberator. I love my guides. Really, they do all the work. I'm just, get ready for the camera, say the prayer, and go boom. So, if you are new to my channel, we end my readings here on YouTube as well as with my private clients if they're into it, with a little thing we call a blessimation, a word we came up with over on Patreon a couple of years ago. Blessing and a summation. And though I never know what's going to come out of my mouth in these readings anyway, I really don't know for the blessimation. And then we'll talk about cool stuff if you want to hang out for it. Shall we? Last time for this reading at least. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. May we end as we began. Pantheonic override. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine on behalf of the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and their cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, shifting them from toxicity to health, from fear to love, from illusion to truth, fulfilling their life purpose in their work, career, vocation, so that in their vocation they highlight their tendency to intimidate others and helping them confront the inner fears that bully them, because there is something shook up inside of them as the result perhaps of an intuition and an inspiration happening within them, that just everything they thought different now changed, shifted, particularly as the result of a one-on-one relationship, most likely with the person, and they would feel it in their second chakra who that person is, and so that in their career they can free themselves and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns like cynicism, things that we have really seriously inherited for thousands of years down the genetic as well as the societal conditioning of this planet. And there is work involved here, and there is work that's been done here, and a highest potential. Maybe they help them see their highest potential, that Capricorn energy, that they just have to keep moving forward step by step. Not even a goat tears up a mountain, but showing their light perhaps, or perhaps dealing with someone in their career with a strong Leo energy, regardless of planetary placements in the zodiac, because there is a creative opportunity here for you, a fixed fire kind of focused laser beam kind of feeling, liberation here for them in their career. And so that in their work they can highlight their fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to their life, like a promotion, where then the people you were working with, they are now under you. Just one of a billion examples that just popped into my head, but certainly as a result of what feels like here an intuition that comes in, a bolt of light. Light is truth, so truthtening, lightning, bam, changing the game, empowering them, making that heart, third eye crown really, really clear and intuitive, so that they can take the leap of faith if it is their free will to do so, leaping into the empowerer rather than the saboteur, and so that they may remove the obstacles, inner and outer, here with their innocence, the core of who they are, to take some time and space for themselves, right? To approach situations with fresh eyes, which certainly seems is in play here, particularly with the Fool in their work, as they hear inner guidance, because their intuition flows whenever they are still. So may they be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to evolve, to be the best that they can be, fulfilling their life purpose and their work, career, vocation, for happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser lives, in a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser way, for a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser world for all of us, for the well-being of all and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is a tricky read, but a hero's journey kind of read for sure, particularly whenever the bully shows up, just saying. So, if you found it helpful, if you liked it, if it even made you laugh, hit the thumbs up. Helps other Taurians and crosswatchers find the reading here on YouTube. If you want more of me here on YouTube, please do subscribe. You can see I have a field day doing this, and you have to admit, a spoonful of goofy can make the alchemy go down when it comes to Markangelo Alliance Mal for short here on the Drawing the Circle YouTube channel. But if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come play Patreon on Patreon. The digital shop alone is so much fun. And now my entire back catalog is there, so I will be adding new stuff. Some of my subscribers get the audios and the videos and the ebooks and all of that, but all of them get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, and the extended discount. We'll talk about that in a moment. You can follow us for free, putting out more and more exclusive as well as advanced content for the free followers on my Patreon. We're building a lovely community. You can 7-day free trial as a seeker or a human, and I love it. And in terms of work, career, vocation, it's one of the smartest things I've ever done, and I was guided to do it, but what I had to go to get through there, yeah. And if you would like to book me for a private session, there's a video that I made at my 25th anniversary on May 1st, 2023 is when I released it, called Booking Private Sessions with Mal. Now I have to change it because I made that when I lived in Holbrook, so I've got to make a new one because I didn't know I'd be living in Saratoga at the time of that recording. But it does explain absolutely everything that you need to know about booking a reading with me. Well, I should say to an extent, maybe not absolutely everything. What I charge, why I charge it, the Patreon discount. Because now I'm doing readings at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs on Fila Street. So you just call them and they book it, and then they tell me you're coming and I come and read you, right? So that's outside of Drawing the Circle in that sense. I mean, it all goes into the corporate bank account, but you know, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna do it right? But what I do mostly with people now is video reads. I send them a Zoom link. We video the whole thing. They're in on it, right? They don't have to memorize anything. They don't have to take notes because I send them the video, they download it, they tell me they downloaded it, and then I delete it from the cloud on Zoom. Boom. Confidentiality is really key to what I do. It's part of a mystical vow I made with the divine, right? To keep it in the vault, as it were, right? So that I say in the video, as well as the most important thing I say in that video. As a Virgo, I can't not. We're the servants of the zodiac. I've never turned anybody away because of lack of finances. I won't do it. I can't do it. Where there's a witch, there's a way. I'm a witch, so there's a way. And we can barter, but it's got to be fair. Live and let live. Fairly take and fairly give. And by the way, I got a new kitten. I know I said it in the last series of readings, but maybe you're new. His name is Samuel, and here he is sunning himself under the lamp on the table that he's not supposed to be on, but tough. He has such a crabby ass. He has lit up my life. And if you want more of the life growth process of this beautiful kitten dealing with his two older brothers, also black cats, well, definitely follow me on Facebook. That's where it's all going down. I love my life. My work, career, vocation is very, very fulfilling, but I can also acknowledge how hard it is to keep your innocence clear. And we can't be that way all the time. It's just we're going to have days where our nervous systems, do what it's got to do. But this is a beautiful thing. The ego doesn't see our innocence. The soul knows us only as innocent. And somewhere in between is the personality, that third chakra makes the choice. So you've got this. I believe in you. Hang in there. And if you need my help, I'm here to help, right? Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed in your work, career, vocation, fellow Earth signs. We got to stick together. Hang in there. I love you. You got this. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.